Kathleen! Kathleen is here! For what's probably gonna be sadness. And stressed outness. I plan. Hopefully we won't actually have to enact this today, because that would mean I'm just doing that badly. But as the city grows into stress, I will change the colors. As my city changes colors. But right now, hopefully we're going to start out low stress. How you doing? Good to see you here. It's time we jump in. Let's look at the settings really quick here. Oh, get that Celsius out of here. I don't want that. I like that. I like that. I might turn that off. I don't know. We're going to leave tutorials on for now. Such dramatic music. Council scene? What does this mean? Deluxe edition. What's the difference? Well, we have the deluxe edition. I feel like we should do deluxe because we are deluxe edition. I have no idea what that means. Yeah, this doesn't really matter because my computer is not going to have any kind of issue with anything a city builder is going to throw at it. Like, no chance. Ah, the Twitch integration. We're on YouTube, so we don't have Twitch enabled. But that's pretty legit. I really thought about getting Twitch just for this game, because there's going to be some pretty sick stuff in there. But we're going to do it on YouTube. Alright. Story time. We'll do story instead of Utopia Builder for now. Frostpunk 2 is a challenging game in which planning ahead is crucial, and failure is a natural part of the experience. If you're a veteran of the original Frostpunk or enjoy a challenge, you may try your luck with Officer or higher difficulty level. Otherwise, we suggest you start at Citizen and take it one step at a time. Remember, it's not about how many times we fall, it's about how many times we get up. The game is giving you a pep talk about how much you're gonna suck before you even start playing it. The game is like, don't worry, sucking is a part of it. That's how you know you're about to feel pain. I don't actually know what difficulty level I'm even on. What is this? There's slots. Oh my god. Okay, prologue. They came upon the old machine, as they always do, and when whiteout hits, they must survive. Okay, so Citizen's easy. So I'm of two minds. On the one hand, I'm not so full of. I have pride. I'm not too proud to say that I'm proud. There's part of me that's like, I wouldn't mind starting on Citizen. My only worry is because I do have experience with the game, I don't want to get used to it on easy, so we might kick it up to Officer. We're definitely not going to Steward or Captain. I never even played Frostpunk 1 on the harder difficulty settings. And so it's 1887. Though in 1887 the world froze to death, civilization crumbled. The failing British Empire built generators to support the cities of evacuees, cities that would become the last on Earth. Whether huddled by a generator or out in the open frostland, those who survived were shaped by the ordeal. 30 years later, all became a very different people. Okay, so Citizen is moderate challenge, but with a margin for error and room to correct mistakes, versus Officer, a challenging endeavor, still with margin for error, but otherwise demanding focused planning. Steward, demanding challenge with little room for error, requiring meticulous planning. Yeah, we're definitely not doing that. Extreme challenge with no room for error. Yeah, nope. That's a nope. Hey, Ray, welcome! Hope you're doing well. But you do actually have the ability to adjust here. So, like, people have moderate needs for space. Problems can pile up, but reasonable time to react. Cold seasons are frequent but survivable. Whiteouts are dangerous. Versus, like, I bet if we move this, whiteouts pose surmountable challenges. Cold seasons are mild. See, like, I feel like I would just get used to this. Frostland. While Frostland is an unhospitable place, you can still find people if you look diligently. Society, people are ready to react to problems in the city, but your failures and promises communities can turn to violence versus people are composed. Communities shun violence and are cooperative. We don't want that. People are sensitive to problems. People are very sensitive to problems. Yeah, I think we'll just go officer. You're still in Nashville for a couple more days, but baby and mama get to come home today. That is exciting. I'm assuming everybody's healthy. Everybody's feeling good. You can customize game difficulty only starting your day. Surviving against all odds. There's no active pause button and your progress is only save on exit. Yeah, F that. We're not doing that. We're not doing survivor mode. Zero chance. Trust is the sum of your relations with all communities, but is also impacted by additional factors such as laws, buildings, or various events. Here we go. Ah, this person's a little scary. Yes, he's very healthy. You'll send another pic. Yes, please do.
Captain. Can you hear us? Captain! Do you hear us?
So the captain is who we played in the first game.
The crumbling British Empire as the world froze around us. I held New London together.
It's the city from the first story mode campaign.
United. We survived 30 years of whiteouts. But the world around us is dead. Empty. Ripe for taking. The city grows. Festers.
Merely surviving is not enough. We have to expand. After all, it's us who
Set
survived
lens.
the end of the world. It's us who survived.
Yes.
So basically, if you remember from like the main campaign in the first game, we played as the captain, and the captain like took the city of New London, survived political upheaval, survived the great like second storm. This game is 30 years later. The captain whom we played as in the first game has passed, and now we are the steward. So we're picking up 30 years from where the first game left off. And mind you, the first game, the main story campaign was literally, I think, 40 days. So we played 40 days. This is 30 years after our 40 days. We've been roaming the frozen desert for years. Many of us do not remember our world before the Great Frost. Now another whiteout is coming, and again we've reached the old machine. Again, we rely on its furnace to provide heat through the storm. In the past, we've always made sure there were enough supplies for the next whiteout, but our numbers have grown through the years. Providing for everyone is getting harder and harder. We must survive. Looks like a train. I think, if I remember from some of the videos I've watched, we eventually get to build trains. I'm very excited. Oh! Text! Prologue. The Wanderers. So, like, the base premise, I'm really excited for this game because instead of making, like, a copy-paste of Frostpunk 1, they've tried something really different, which I almost, like, replayed Frostpunk before I got into this, and I decided against it because the mechanics are actually going to be completely different. And I was like, replaying the first one might actually hurt me more than it will help me. So where Frostpunk 1 was all about micromanaging, literally down to, like, what people work, what shifts, when, and you have, I mean, granted, you would get up to the hundreds, but it was, like, a discernible amount of people. Like, this is going to be, where that was a micromanager, this is going to be a macro manager. So they've completely kind of changed how the game works. It's just really the setting that's the same. So I'm really excited. But I think moving resources around and stuff is going to be a bigger deal than it was in the first game. Alright, the old dreadnought remains in pieces under the layers of snow, but scattered wagons still have resources inside. First, we must break the ice to reach one of the old wagons and construct an extractor district to use it. We can turn on the dreadnought's furnace to heat us. We will restart the furnace. Okay, let's give this a little pause. So a couple things that are different right off the top. And we saw some of this when I played the beta. I only played through the beta once. They've really improved the UI. The kind of like the universal complaint in the beta was that I liked that they were doing something different with the UI, but it was really hard to read. And so they did a really good job, I think, of keeping with a different vibe while just actually making the menu readable. So that's really exciting. But if you look up here, we have week. I don't know if how well you can see it. The text is kind of small. It's not small for me on my monitor, but it might be hard to see on the screen. Week 1, day 1. I don't know. Like I said, the main story campaign of the first game was 40 days ish, if I'm remembering correctly. It's only days. So this is gonna already. I mean, like Whiteout arriving in 88 weeks. That's almost 2 years. It's a year and a half, I think. So like we're already at a longer form of game. Now we're still not at the point where like your kids are gonna grow up, which is something different than say something like In Zone that we've played. But it's pretty interesting. Sorry, I'm ignoring the chat. Ray, I'm excited for your family. I feel you on the being excited to be an aunt and not wanting your own. I can't bring a child into this whiteout Frostpunk world. Oh, but baby's so cute. Look at little Liam. Oh, he has the right idea sleeping that hard, let me tell you. Babies know what's up. So here we have a population of 3,000. Like, in general, in Frostpunk 1, you'd have, like, you know, if you had 300, there was a population cap, and I can't remember what it was, but you'd have a lot. So, again, completely different scale. So I'm just going to kind of familiarize myself with the UI. I remember some of the stuff from the beta, but some things are going to be different. The beta didn't have everything in it anyway, because it was a beta, and we played that months ago. So let's take a little time. Today's really going to be a let's figure out how the game works kind of stream, so hopefully you guys don't mind watching me read stuff. But as soon as population meaningfully increases, the city will prepare a census to show how many new workers we have available. The city, or the better the overall situation in the city, the more children live to adulthood, and the more outsiders seek to gain entry. Which is interesting. I wonder if that means I don't get to know how many people I have at any point in time. Workforce, so 65% of the population is in the workforce. What's this other button? I might need to see this. Workforce. What's this? I'm assuming that means not in work. Since there's only 18, I'm wondering if that means kids or it could mean sick or injured people. That would also track. Yeah, this other number is probably sick. Oh, that 18 was only on the dummy picture. We have 0, so it's probably sick or injured. That would make sense. This is probably, okay, so scraps, income of plus 21 per week. This appears to be, okay, small objects of either sentimental or material value used for bartering. Prefabs, which is building construction. So instead of having wood, I think we get wood and turn it into prefabs maybe, but prefabs are what you use to build stuff. So we can either get prefabs from things or make them. Heat is scarce. There's 20 available. Oil. We don't have any of that. Oil is the change in this game as well. First game was coal. Oil is the setup here. Command. Shelter. So it looks like we have a couple of people that aren't sheltered. And food is a problem. We don't have any materials. It's 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have the Frostbreak and Oil Wagon, which is this dreadnought thing, for an extraction district. So this game has districts as opposed to individual buildings. Turn the furnace on in the dreadnought to provide heat. Down here is our community. We're a community of wanderers currently. We've been roaming the cold, harsh world for many years. May the black path lead us as we tread to the promised land. Okay, that's nice. It's nice for you. Overall trust, not affected by, we're in a neutral state of trust. Okay, let's see what we got. This is an overview menu. Oh, this is a build menu. Okay, so we have housing district, food district, extraction district. There's more districts, but I'm guessing this is all we have access to at this time. And then there's like advantages to putting different districts over different things. Hubs, food stockpile hub. It probably distributes food easier. And Frostbreak is what they want us to do. So Frostbreak is before you can build anywhere, you have to unlock the tiles to be able to do stuff. Like that. I would really love a tutorial to be going, because I only know that from the beta. See these neat little robots. Can I click on them? It's not a very good click on them. Now while they're doing that, housing district. I don't know if we have stuff. Dreadnought Wreck has a furnace that serves as a heat generator for your population. You need to have fuel to turn on the furnace. In this case, oil is the only available fuel. Once you've recovered it, you can turn on the furnace by clicking switch next to Dreadnought's furnace. To kind of show you the passage of time, though, we've already lost 2 weeks just in sitting here. Don't fully understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I wanted a more overt tutorial. Tutorials are on. Whiteout arriving in 1 week. Wait, what? Oh, okay. That was just a bug. I panicked a little there. Left alt for economy overlay? Ah, I see. Oh, I see. I needed to frostbreak to that. I thought the oil wagon was that, but the oil wagon is this thing. Cold is a measure of how well your city is heated and how protected your people are from the frost. Make sure shelter and heat needs are fulfilled. Not satisfying those needs may increase cold. Style. This is so cool. There we go. So now we'll go in here. Extraction district. I have no idea how I want to do tiles right now because I'm a little new to this. But now we'll build this extraction district. I should just be frost breaking to pass the time. All this stuff is all the way over here. I'm not used to multi-levels in Frostpunk either, so this is gonna be new and different. It's not a bad thing, it's just a scary thing. We're gonna want to break all this frost anyway, even though I do think it's used. I think there's some cost to doing it, but there's no reason not to get this area cleaned up when we're gonna want it. Look at this. Isn't that neat? Absolutely lovely art style. I wish I could zoom in a little closer. Maybe I can, I just don't know the key for it. I want to see more. That frost breaking over there. Gold is growing. We're working on it. I promise. Can I build a housing district? I can. I don't know. Oh, I don't know enough to know what I want to build next to other things. I'm pretty sure I don't want to put a housing district next to an extraction district because I know pollution's a thing. But I don't really know enough to know where I want to put this. Probably want to put it more like over here. As the thick black liquid oozes through the pipes, our people rejoice. The carcass of this old machine is a testament to the hardships that made us. But more importantly, it's our haven in the storm. It has allowed us to weather many whiteouts, and it will do so again. We have oil. We can turn the furnace on. Select the Dreadnought Wreck. To access furnace control, once turned on, the Dreadnought's furnace will automatically convert oil to heat. Generator on. City's economy is based on output and demand of various resources. Output is the total amount of resources produced by districts and buildings. Fair. For example, food output can be increased in a food district. However, a working district also increases demand for resources needed to sustain its operation. In the case of food district, heat and materials are needed to run your food district. When output equals demand, you will see a golden icon for the given resource on the top bar. When output equals demand, it has a gold thing. When output is higher than demand, you will see a positive number next to the icon. I see. So in the case of this picture, housing is equal. In the case of this, there's actually 38 more food than what you're using. But in the case of materials, you're actually using 35 more per unit of time than you're producing. When output is higher than demand, you'll see. Okay. When demand is increased by the needs of you people who require food and shelter to survive. When output is lower than demand, you will see a negative number next to the resource at the top bar, indicating how much output is needed to meet the demand. Districts and buildings mostly increase heat and material demands. That makes sense. The furnace is on. We have enough oil to cover current needs, but cold will still affect our people until they have proper shelter. Housing will be best to protect us from the cold if built in close proximity to other housing or the furnace itself. However, if we'll need prefabricated parts for the construction. We brought some with us. The rest we'll need to extract from the wagon wreckage. Okay. Constructing any type of structure requires prefabs. They are prefabricated building components assembled at the construction site into buildings, hubs, or whole districts. You can obtain prefabs from ruins or other abandoned deposits, like maintenance wagons or abandoned ruins, by building extraction district. When you run out of prefabs to build anything, try demolishing one of your distinct districts, hubs, or buildings to get back all of the prefabs used for their construction. Well, that's nice. It's a complete refund. That's not the case in all games. I need to do a little Frostpunk construction wagon and build extraction district to provide prefabs. So this one is just providing oil, but an extracting district would also provide prefabs, just needs a different one. Base output is 60 oil. Looks like we are currently in a heat surplus. Oil looks like it's figuring itself out. A workforce, so this is 100% stocked. Got it. Don't do either of those things. By shelter scarcity, disease is minor because of cold. Hunger is minor. And squalor is absent. So, housing would be increased. See, it's blue because it would do well to be by the blue. I think that's what it's telling me. So we'll just surround the furnace with housing. But it wants 2 housing districts. But we'll be able to keep that housing warmer because we'll put it next to another housing district, basically. I probably could have done this differently. I probably should have done partial and partial. But we're learning. Maybe this was the best move. So over here you can see the temperature is going to drop a little here. It's not the same as the whiteout, but it's going to drop a little here. So we want to get some housing up as best we can by then. So it does cost scraps because we have to pay people to white out, to break frost, which makes sense. I want to go ahead and, because I do need another extraction district, we're going to go ahead and do that and get these things unlocked too. Look how beautiful this map is. And this is just... the art style for Frostpunk games is just immaculate. You can watch the house was getting built. I could speed the game up, I'm aware of that. I just kind of like taking it all in. Shelter. Your population needs shelter to survive. If not provided, cold will aggressively rise in the city. Shelter is mainly provided by housing districts, but remember, as other type of districts, it needs heat. And if the heat demand in the city is not fulfilled, cold will rise, but at a lower rate compared to lack of shelter. So it's better to have shelter without enough heat than to not have shelter, but you need shelter and heat together. Building housing districts in the right place, e.g. proximity to each other, can reduce heat demand. Okay, so I've kind of done sort of what that picture's showing. Okay, so that's one housing district. We're doing much better on housing. It's another housing district. If we put it next to this housing district, it's going to be happier, so we'll do that. Looks like the frost breaking is done. So we also need to build an extraction district for the prefabs, which I believe is this one. That's oil. This is prefabs. Almost built it on the wrong spot. That's getting built, that's getting built. So far we're not spiraling out of control. We'll see how long that lasts. Sound design of this is just, God, these games are great. I cannot get over how pretty this looks. I mean, it also looks really gross. But like, in a good, purposeful sort of way. Frostpunk just has a really good style of like, it's supposed to look that bad. And so it's just really great because you know it's supposed to look like that. Now the first, does it have any kind of, there. The first game, if you like, went to a certain menu, had like a pseudo photo mode. It's supposed to look that bad. Exactly, it's like on purpose. Like you don't look at this and go, I want to live there. But you can tell they spent a lot of time like crafting how beautiful that is. Ah, God, we're getting disease. I saw the syringe flash. Huddle camp closer together, easier to trap the warmth. We'll be better prepared when the whiteout hits, says Otta Cleghorn, the Wanderer. Gain access to food. We've established some heat and shelter for our people. We must now turn our attention to the coming whiteout. First, we must frost break. You know, I need to buy some Mountain Dew Whiteout for drinking during the stream. I think that would be appropriate. We've established some heat and shelter for... Okay. First, we must frost break the small patches of fertile soil suitable for growing food. Then we must store it easily in accessible depots. We must move quickly so no one starves. And starving does sound bad. What's the flavor of Mountain Dew Whiteout? It's some kind of berry. The pop is actually white, but it doesn't really taste white. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a not as good Fresca. Fresca is like superior, but that might be my Michigan talking. But it's like a more sugary, like lesser version of Fresca. I think that's what I would call Whiteout. I mean, it is good, don't get me wrong. When I say it's not as good as Fresca, it's because to me, Fresca is like the pinnacle of pop. Alright, Fresca comparison made sense. I'm glad. As another Midwesterner, I was hoping that would work. Okay, are we disease-ridden? Yeah, we're a little disease-ridden. That's not fun. Increased by hunger and squalor. We have squalor now? God. By material scarcity? Okay. There's so much going on. So stressed already. Okay, so we need to frost break to the fertile soil, which is over. That's the closest one, I think. Yeah, it is. God, this button's lovely. Left alt does that. I'm not the biggest fan of it being on left alt, but that's because of my left-handedness and how my mouse is. If I was WASD, yeah, that's actually, if you were right-handed, it's in a really good spot. If you're left-handed like me, it's not in a great spot, but that's okay. I like that it exists, though, in concept. I might rebind that at some point. Can I frost break just there, or do I have to connect to it? That's my next question. No, I have to connect to it. Oh, God. Okay. This might take a minute. Oh no, we got it! We got there! They thought they could stop us, but they were wrong. Okay. Frost breaking. I grew up in a diabetic household with lots of Fresca on hand. Yeah! Okay, 18 registered as sick. Speaking of diabetic households, I have 18 sick people. Well, they might be hungry. That's probably why. They've been starving for 21 weeks, so that will do it every time. The thing is, if you look here, we do still have, like, unsheltered. So I don't know if I want to get too far ahead of the tutorial, because I'm a little afraid that if I do, I'm going to just kind of come into ruin. Can I, like, put one tile over there? No, okay. Oh, there's fine. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead of what the game's telling me to do and put in more shelter, just because we do have 5 people unsheltered. And I don't know how much I'm supposed to be looking out ahead of things. I'm getting that frost breaking done. Food district. Build a food district on fertile soil. Okay. That's getting built, and that's getting built. Lots of nice warm housing over there. I really want to zoom in more, and I don't know if it's just I don't know what that button is, or they don't let me. But I want to be closer to this building. I will kind of miss some of the city planning. Like, when you would play the endless mode in Frostpunk, you could build, like, these really pretty gardens and, like, town squares, and planning all of that was a good time. I'm not sure, like, that was about city design, this is going to be about city efficiency. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to have that. But we'll see. The other kind of nice thing, though, when game sequels do something like that, like, it not only makes Frostpunk 2 a chance to be a completely different game and not just, like, a carbon copy, but it also means I never have to stop playing Frostpunk, right? Like, I love Civ. Civilization, to me, is one of the greatest game series of all time. But, like, once I've gotten good at Civ 6, as much as I love Civ 5, I've never gone back. Civ 7's gonna come out. I love Civ 6. Once I get used to Civ 7, I will probably never go back to Civ 6. But Civ is a reinvention of itself each time. Like, Frostpunk, I could see myself still going back to Frostpunk 1, potentially. Take a quick look. Looks like the mouse wheel is the only way to zoom in and out. Yeah, and that's what I was already doing. I appreciate you looking, though. Prepare for the whiteout. We secured our immediate survival. Now we stockpile as much food as we can, for the whiteout forces us to take shelter. To do that, we need to produce more food than our current demand. We must be ready. Okay, so we need to stockpile, which, if you look here, we're not making enough food in general. We will be doing much better now that everybody, like, we don't have a problem there. We do have a problem with materials. I don't know. I think that's materials. So that's quite a chunk of time away. Can I make... It wants me to make more food. Can I make more food? I can't. Can I increase anything here? No. So I'm assuming I just need to keep frostbite breaking 2 food, which is convenient because I also want to get over there. And start gaining some materials. Everything else, oil we're getting a little low on, so building an extractor district here on this oil would probably not be the worst thing to do either. Again, I don't know enough for that, but at least food scarcity is way less. Although we're gaining people, so that's also kind of a problem. When do I get the town center? Wonders a ration of food to save more for the whiteout. Huh. No. We're not stockpiling food. I'm aware. I'm working on it. Gosh. Y'all just need to calm down. It's kind of nice not having to worry about roads, though. I mean, eventually, if trains are, in fact, a thing, I might have to worry about those, but... I think the white outing is done. District. So build that, but also... Gosh dang it. It helps when you hit the right buttons. Hitting the right buttons is a good thing. Okay. I don't know how else to be making more food. This way we won't be, like, we're currently not losing oil, but I really don't want to run out of oil. But we don't have that much of a workforce left. Oh. Oh. Finan Kel? I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. 42, a gardener. Pouring sand into his hands. We've been here so many times. The soil is depleting. A couple more and there will be no point in erecting the hothouses. There will be nothing to grow food on. And the yield is so low. Either we'll pull emergency shifts or tighten our belts. Otherwise there might not be enough for everyone. We might not be able to fill food stockpiles without exceptional measures. Consider asking the Wanderers to tighten their belts or instill emergency shifts in food districts. I don't want to do that! Now that I've broken the frost by this thing, can I do something with it? Or is it just something that's there? Against the elements, squalor. Each day the wind grows fiercer. Relentlessly it beats against our buildings, weakening our structures gust by gust. Without raw materials to repair the damage, our districts will deteriorate. The more we build, the more materials we will need. This is the world we know. Provide more materials to reduce squalor before it harms our people. Promise to gather more materials to address. Oh, we can make that promise. Because we built that area. So that part, the enough materials might be a little trickier. Thank you. Trying my hand at better narration. Do we want to... Trust will fall if I do it. I want to see if we can get by without. Now we're stockpiling. So the stockpiling has begun. So we're not going to do anything right now. But we're really having a materials problem. We might need... We need to keep frost. Oh. Tria, Cleghorn, 62, seamstress, so others may live. My knees ache, and my fingers are so stiff, I can't hold the needle anymore. I've lived a full life. It warms my heart to see little Betty and Jacob play by the evening fire. But maybe this is it. I've talked to the elders. If it comes to it, we will go. I won't let my grandchildren starve. Some people are ready to sacrifice themselves to lower the food required. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. You know, we'll just file that away. Don't get too excited, though. Unlock both of those spots in case I need to build more over there. That's going to increase our heat demand, so we'll see. But at least the food is actually stockpiling. Stockpiles will be ready in 188 weeks at the current rate. Oh, we don't have 188 weeks. Interesting. Aiden Fincham, 47, an elder, shocked at the sight of seals. God, I was walking down the road and there was a seal. Seals, I can't believe my eyes. We haven't seen them since before the Great Frost. How did they survive? There's enough meat there to feed everybody. We're saved. But should we slay them? If the Lord spared them from the end of the world too? Seal colony can supplement our food production. I think maybe the Lord spared them for such a time as this. Good work. Now that we're gathering materials to maintain our districts, time to focus on stockpiling food. Oh, we are actually making enough materials. That's excellent. So we're not going to worry about that right now. Where are these seals? Food district on the seals. Where are they? Where are the seals? Resources nearly depleted. Oh, that's not good. That's pretty terrible, actually. Where are the, oh, these are the seals. Oh god, that's so much frost breaking. I guess if I went this way. Okay, well, we'll figure that out in a second. Interesting. Oh yeah, 8 weeks of prefabs left. Okay. Well, we'll have to solve that one. Oh, I can go from here. Okay, that's closer at least. We'll get to work on the frost breaking. prefabs. Okay. Oh, actually, the good news is I'll be able to take these prefabs down when that's done. That is something we actually know we can do. So we need to work on getting to there so we can get more prefabs, which will be a part of this frostbreaking. So we're working on it. I suppose I can ask them to tighten their belts. How's hunger right now? It's diminishing. 22 sick people have returned. Oh, that's good. We'll see if this pisses them off. All will eat less to stockpile more food before the whiteout. 120. Yeah, that's not enough. We need that. How do we get down? Oh, I can only get over there by. Okay. Okay, I guess. That means to get to there, we actually have to go through there. That's really frustrating. But the prefabs are going to be the more important thing right now, probably. Get another food district down. Because I'll get the prefabs from this place back, so I'm not worried about not having enough prefabs to build the prefabs. But getting more food down is going to help with my current problem. And I have to solve this problem sooner rather than later, because eventually we run out of time. I think I have to just hit this button. I have a feeling that if I deal with trust, that'll be how we get the council going. Yeah, they're gonna be pissy. Well, you're not gonna be pissy when you actually have food, eh? Mysterious symbol, the captain's legacy. One of our frost-breaking crews uncovered the frozen remains of a man in a tattered uniform. His shoulder patch reads, New London Scouts, 3rd Platoon, and he bears an obscure insignia. One of our elders claim it belongs to a military organization, while others argue that it has religious significance. Maybe you've heard of this New London before and can settle their debate. Oh! It symbolizes order, symbolizes faith. I don't recognize the symbol. Well, I'm pretty sure it was faith how we finished versus order when we did the on-stream campaign. Oh, there's options. New London is a city of discipline that follows strong leadership where militant squads keep the peace. This will create a continuity in which New London has embraced order. Symbolize faith. New London is a city of devotion that establishes new religion and follows the guidance of zealous clergy. This will create continuity in which New London embraces faith. I'm probably going to pick this because it's how we played on stream before. New London's history is shrouded in mystery. This will create a continuity in which New London has leaned on either order or faith to survive. Interesting. No, we'll do faith. Okay, we can do more. I don't know how we got down here, but okay, I'm just not gonna question it. I probably could have done this sooner and I just wasn't thinking. We're making ground with the food. Almost out of prefabs, but we're also at a point where I can start building prefabs. In fact, can I just do that? Yes, I can. We'll start the building process, and then we'll demolish this once it's done. So there's nothing here, so we might as well demolish. Colder season. So much is happening. Lack of prefabs. No resource for further construction. We don't have enough prefab components. Making further construction is impossible. Making further construction impossible. There may be some prefabs left in one of the construction wagons. If not, we can try to salvage prefabs by demolishing ones that exist in the hubs. Obtain more prefabs by building extractions. Yes, we are already in process of that. Okay, we're getting closer to our food problem. But heat is now an issue. How do I get us more heat? I guess we can put it in overdrive. I don't want to do that. We need more prefab, so I can't build anything else for the time being. We'll get this broken down and we'll get these prefabs up. Both of those things will allow me to build more food. See, it's gonna get colder. Oh, that cold is the whiteout. Okay. That's not as scary as I thought it was then. Okay. We're now making more prefabs. Those prefabs are down, which means I should be able to. Oh gosh, dang it. Okay. Is this anything now? It's just a picture. There we go. Build some food on the seal colony. We're getting so close. Like, so close to actually being okay. Cold is a problem though, and I don't really know what to do with it, but I assume that that will be the next thing we get asked to do after we solve the food problem. Ugh. Everything's spiraling out of control already. Okay, we need 42 weeks, and we're at 38. But this will get built, and that should put us there. Food depots. Preserving the food for the whiteout. Our stores are almost full of food, but we still need more for the whiteout. We secure depots that can house rations during the months of whiteout. Construct hubs. We need prefabs. We can't do it at this time. Stockpile and proximate demand in neighboring districts is increased. I don't really know the best place to put this versus anywhere else. Seven more prefabs. Okay, we're gonna make it, because we have 23 weeks to 35. But what we need is a hub. I don't know if it's better to, I don't know where it's better to put it. Probably here? Because there's like no food by our housing districts. Yep, we're building. Now we're losing time. Seals! Okay. 22 weeks at current rate. We have 33 weeks. Now, if whiteout draws near, a sacrifice. People in the camp are getting tense. Oh god, this music. They worry we won't gather enough food in time. The charts say we can. Our hunters propose to slaughter the remaining seals, including pups and females. This will allow us to gather more food, but will wipe out what could be the last colony of these creatures on Earth. However, many elders have volunteered to walk out to the Frostland rather than be a burden on resources. Their sacrifice would significantly reduce the rations we need to survive. No one's doing any extremes. Everyone just needs to calm down. Everyone just calm the frick down. Okay. Now what does that do to my rate if I take that off? We're still okay. We still have 22 weeks out of 32. What about here? 23 weeks out of 31. Okay. We're gonna take the emergency shifts off then. That's fine. I was gonna build a materials factory here, but we don't have the prefabs right now, so. It would help with squalor, but it's not our primary concern at this point in time. Now this is cutting it kind of close, and it does make it slightly concerning. Like if something else were to pop up. But, I don't know. Okay, I got a little pop-up. Just a little square. Our people are freezing! Yeah, I know. You haven't told me what to do about the heat. Our crews have begun to suffer casualties from exposure. They're asking us to provide more heating before the cold takes further toll. We know we need to bring in as much food as possible, but with the whiteout, one elder says, but we can't just let people freeze in the meantime. Extracting enough oil. Ah, so I need more oil. That's where I'm failing. Okay. Relations will improve with the Wanderers, but if I don't do it, I think I take a hit. People will continue to die as long as the cold remains a problem or will worsen. Okay, let's give it a shot. I have access to oil. I need... Requires 2 more workforce. I might not be able to do this. I shouldn't have made that promise. Oh, I see. Yeah, I have no oil. That's what I was missing. Okay. Well, that means I won't be building anything. 30 froze to death. Oh, that's not going to give me the workforce I need. That's a problem. Oh, and this is depleting. Oh, God. Oh, this is all going so bad. Oh, this is all going so bad. We mourn those who have recently passed. As is our custom, we take them to the oil pits. We gently lower the bodies into the thick blackness. The fuel that keeps us warm in life likewise preserves us in death. But death also erodes trust in our leaders. Without trust, there is no future. Oh, God. How I'm already failing at the tutorial. They really do get you with the music. They do. Something tells me I'm not getting that extraction district. Yeah. Huh. Oh, good. 20 are registered. This is all going so wrong. Basically, without heat, I'm not... Probably should have said F the seals. Well, this did say that we might fail, didn't it? Oh, no. We're almost out of prefabs, too. Oh, no, this probably means we don't have the workforce. Oh, no, it's nearly depleted. Okay. What if we deactivate district? I have the prefabs. Okay, that will get me what I need here. Because right now I have the prefabs I need. I can't build anything else anyway because I don't have the workforce. So I might as well pause that for the time being and use the workforce to build the extraction district to get the oil. And then once we have the stockpile in, I also won't need to send as many people to work in the food districts. Like, we won't need to stockpile as much as we are once we get that figured out too. So oil was definitely what I wasn't paying attention to. Here, I should change the colors. We'll go yellow. We're not quite red, but we'll go yellow. Now I'm just in here being all freaked out. This'll. There. Now you can better feel the vibe. Okay. Cold is much better. Everyone is warm! Oh, thank God! Okay, good work. Our people are now less cold and can turn to focus back to stockpiling food. Oh. Oh no. The stockpile hub is full. This is a crisis. Did not realize that was gonna happen. What's the problem here? Slightly decreased efficiency, that's fine. Get one thing fixed and something else freaking happens. It's like I'm playing Frostpunk. Oh, we have 12 weeks at current rate. Okay, we're gonna have to drop an emergency shift back on. And it's gonna piss people off. But we're cutting it a little too close for me. That stockpile problem was not in my calculations. We're gonna have a 4-week buffer. I don't even like that. Especially if this is running out. Okay, there's 7 weeks left, and we'll have stockpiles in 5 weeks. So we're not going to run out before the whiteout. Once we stockpile too, I can turn off some of these food districts because we don't need as many as we have. That'll also help with the heating problem. Because once we get there, we won't need all of the food places that we have. Okay, we did it! We secured enough food to survive the incoming whiteout. Our workers will make some last-minute preparation for the storm rise. We should try to keep them warm if we survive. Okay. So this is gonna... No more emergency shift. Let's turn off... Let's deactivate the seal district. And that'll do a couple things. Really, let's deactivate anything we can. This one's almost done anyway. And when it's done, we can just get rid of it. But that will help with the heat. Because we won't need to use heat in as many districts. See, that severely helped us. And when this is done, I'm just gonna take it down. Will it actually be done in time? 1 week. Oh, they're gonna happen about the same time. It's fine. Considering we're okay with heat, like we're smack dab on, we'll just let it continue. Because everything else, like right now we're actually doing really well, other than we have a fair amount of sick people. Oh, hold on. I don't want them to be tight. They don't need to tighten their belts anymore. Okay, that's fine. Less than a week. The whiteout is here! Preparations are over. Hold on. So I think... Oh! We're going into a cutscene. I can't even prepare anything. Okay. Cutscene time. Against all odds, the Wanderer's survival. When the whiteout hits the camp, the Wanderers were ready. Everyone was thankful we acted fast and gathered enough food in time. The miracle of the sea colony strengthened our hope that the journey will lead to the promised land. Our elders have added this story to our greatest tale, alongside warnings about the sinful city that still pumps smoke into the sky. We survived. So I'm guessing this is going to take us back to the menu. We survived the end of the world. Wow, that was quick, guys. Frostpunk 2, real fast game. No, there's multiple chapters. And now what? No, there's more than one chapter. They broke it up differently this time. Well. Hey, title screen! Now we're officially in the game. The old captain is dead. New London is weak. Food is low. Overpopulation looms. The coal is running out. People yearn for a future worth dreaming of. But is it the same future for all? Keep the city together. Or hold its hand on its deathbed. Yeah, it was an hour intro, basically. Chapter 1. Scraping the Barrel. Okay, I kind of dig this format, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of neat. We'll go back into calm mode here. Coal is running out. The captain is dead. As he weakened, growing divisions brought the city maintenance to a grinding halt. Now, New London is left to suffer the consequences. As steward, it is your charge to lead, but you must prove yourself. The overcrowded city is low on resources. Use this warmer year to build more shelter, secure coal, and get the power of the generator back on. Let's get to work. I want to see what were those achievements we just got? F this. Steam overlay is honestly really annoying. Let's just go to Steam. No lesser evil. Ensure Wanderer's survival while saving the seals and not expecting the elders. We did the thing! Ensure the Wanderer's survival during the whiteout. Oh god, there's so much going on. Okay. New deposits needed. Secure coal and expand shelter. Frostbreak to shallow coal seam. And construct an extraction district. Turn the generator on. Construct new housing districts to address the lack of shelter. Now let's see what we have going on here. Oh. Okay, there's a lot more space here. Shallow iron vein, old way station. Can you zoom in more here? I feel like this is a little bit more. Maybe not. Oh, yep, these would be some of the train things. Ooh, I just noticed down here we got a couple of factions. Tension is notable. We got the Faith Keepers. That would be because of what we picked before. Progress to advance humanity, equal as one flock. Tradition is our bedrock. They hold those evening prayers. Darn New Londoners. That gave me so much crap the first game. And the Frostlanders. Adaptation is the only way to live versus through technological progress. New London will survive. You all need to stop saying my name so creepily, because I'm not digging it. Oh, there's more buttons now. Progress. We will build machines to carve our place in the ice. We will improve ourselves with technology. We will rip resources from the frozen earth to sustain everyone. We will bend the nature of our will, and we will thrive. We will thrive. There's a new London township where you live. Well, watch out for them. Hopefully this isn't too annoying because my camera's covering up what this says, but that's alright. Adaptation. Fighting against the cold is futile. We will not give in to the hubris of machines. Frost makes steel brittle. We will adapt. So I think if we click on this, well, actually, let's look at the tutorial. The Zeitgeist. I kind of remember a little bit about the Zeitgeist from when I played the beta. You can monitor the Zeitgeist of your city in the bottom left corner of the screen. The Zeitgeist means the spirit of time, and it describes the direction of your city on 3 axes: technology, economy, and society. The laws you pass, buildings you build, and choices you make, they all impact the Zeitgeist. At the same time, your communities have a natural tendency to favor some solutions over others. Your relations with them will change based off of how their views are aligned with the current Zeitgeist. The more you develop the city in the direction they support, the more positively it affects relations. To see what a given community or faction supports, click on their image in the bottom screen and hover over the icons of their names. So Faith Keepers like equality, for example. Watch your decisions shape the Zeitgeist, but look out for dissent, which can tear your city apart, Lisa. Okay. So that's not what I was trying to hit. Merit and equality. Oh, I see. These are the 3 axes. So there's progress versus adaptation, which is go for new technology, versus screw technology, didn't help us the first time, we're going to adapt. Merit. New opportunities righten. Fortune, as always, will favor the bold. Let the best of us soar and elevate everyone with them. Versus equality. The old world died along with its inequalities. Nobody should lay claim to vital resources, and in the Frost, all resources are vital. All to the city, and the city shall care for all equally. So again, you can kind of see, like, you can see how technology versus adapting to what we have is the room reference. You're welcome. Oh, hi, Mark. Merit and equality versus tradition and reason. So tradition is the world has changed, but not the people. The old social order has always been the glue that has held us together. It will keep us together still. With tradition as our foundation, we will rebuild society versus reason. To move beyond survival, we must leave behind the old social order, and through logic and reason, we will thrive. It is a new world, and it demands a new society. Oh, hi, doggy. Just go throw, football in a tuxedo for a little bit. Okay. So they're neutral to me. So, like, the thing that's going to be tricky, right? So, Faith Keepers like progress and tradition and equality, right? So there are, go for machinery. They want everyone to be equal. They're not a merit society, but they're traditional, I think. Yeah, they're traditional. But then you have the New Londoners who okay, so both New Londoners and Faith Keepers like progress, so that's going to be helpful to us. But the Frostland community likes adaptation. So this size, which 43% of our population is going to be at odds with the remaining percent of the population, which is going to be really tough to balance, right? So that's part of the problem here. So we're already at week 90, day 4. Lack of shelter, okay, so we need heat and shelter. So let's start with what gets us to oil. I think they said go to the shallow coal seam, so we need a frost break that way. Like that. And then that'll also get us to materials. Now what I also need is housing. So now you can see we have more things. So housing, food, extraction, we already had. Industrial district produces prefabs. So before we had to find them because we were in like the tutorial section. Now we'll actually be able to make prefabs as well as dragging them from something. Logistics district makes Frostland teams, which are like expeditions from the first game. What I don't remember is if there's like a technology and research tree in this. But if you look here, see how it says food? I'm assuming that means there's like a finite amount of food there. Yeah, amount 84k. I mean, that's still quite a bit. But here, this looks to be like... it has the infinity symbol, which made me think there was going to be like an infinite amount there. But it does say that like there's a finite amount, so I don't quite know what the difference is there. Okay, so my next question is, can I go ahead and build a housing district anywhere? I can go ahead and build one here, and it's blue, which means there'll be a bonus for building it there. And we're gonna need 2. Oh god, that little bubble's gonna be stressful. So while that's building, let's go ahead and build one here. This feels very, we gave this to you on purpose. So the 2 housing districts are building, and we're frost breaking to the goal. We have 8,000 people in this city, so again, significantly more than we ever had in a city in the first game. We have a little over half of that, 60% of that, of our population is in the workforce. Heat stamps. Heat stamps are stockpile resources that can be spent on frost breaking, funding construction, or when using specific actions. So it's basically currency. It's this game's money. A city collects heat stamps weekly. Every community provides a share depending on its size. The bigger the community, the more they contribute. It's like taxes, basically. This means as the population grows, heat stamps also become income also increases. Heat stamps income can be increased by satisfying goods demand. It can also be modified by certain laws and buildings. You can request or donate heat stamps to communities and factions. Click on the community or faction at the bottom of the screen to see possible actions. Let's look at squalor really quick. Squalor means your city has to endure polluted air and overwhelming dirt and filth. Squalor rises when there's not enough materials to meet demands for the maintenance of the city. Can also be reduced by implementing new inventions from the idea tree. So there was a research thing. Oh, I do remember the research thing. It was a little non-traditional, but I remember it now. On the other hand, new technologies like generator upgrades or various buildings can emit toxic fumes for polluting the city further. High squalor increases disease and tension. It also decreases population growth, which makes sense. Squalor can also cause recurring events that cause damage. Random damage in districts, which is indicated by the district's wear. When wear reaches its maximum limit, the target district turns off due to malfunction. To make a district functional again, the player needs to repair it at the cost of prefabs. Fair. Sick and injured. Unresolved problems in the city make part of its workforce absent. Those workers are temporarily excluded from workforce. There are 2 types of absences. Sick. Number of sick workers increases proportionally to how high disease currently is. These people will rejoin the available workforce upon decreasing disease in the city or being cured by hospitals. Injured will rejoin the available workforce over time. Having hospitals or using abilities, i.e. triage, accelerates the process. You may encounter other types of badnesses in the city due to various events and decisions you make. District construction. I think we're pretty good there. Extractors require resources to be built on. For example, for food district, you have fund food deposit. Try to cover as many resource fields as possible to create a. This will create a large resource depot, allowing the district to last longer. Oh, okay. So I don't want to like build one tile on one. Like if I need 3 tiles for a food district, I don't want to do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and have 3 food districts. I actually want to have all 3 food districts on the tile. It would be more efficient. Keep in mind, having more resource deposit in a district won't increase its output. It only increases the total amount of resources available for extraction. So if I was like in dire straits, I could do 3 and get 3 times the amount per week, but I'll have less food overall. So that's kind of what I'm weighing there. That makes sense. There are various district abilities for players on district panels. One such example is a district ability, emergency shifts. Some district abilities are available from the beginning of the game, however, others can be unlocked by constructing specific buildings and signing laws, or even by certain events happening in specific districts. District abilities can be divided according to how they are activated. Toggle those abilities can be toggled and untoggled, which means you can control whether they are active or not at all times. Cooldown those abilities have a set number of weeks. One-time activation of those abilities can only be activated once and are unable after that in a given district. Some district abilities have additional requirements. Okay. I think that's good enough for now. I want to read more of these, but I think that's... I think we're good to keep trucking along here. Oh, we went back to week 2. Okay. The calendar is a little glitchy at times. So we're in an alternate... it says New London, 23rd of January, 1916. So we're in an alternate 1916. I think we frost broke already. So like if we do this, actually, I don't want to do this. I know I need to build that, but I want my district to look a little different. Break that frost. Break it up. It's going to get colder. But then a little warmer. Expand districts to increase their scale, which is not something we were able to do before. Expand districts to increase their scale, both in terms of size and capabilities. Expanded districts are more efficient and provide additional building slots. Select a district and open its panel to click on the expand button. Then select new tiles in the chosen district to start the expansion. If there are not enough adjacent tiles to select, district cannot be expanded. Be mindful that housing districts have no building slot upon construction, contrary to the other districts. That's why you need to expand such a district at least once to be able to construct any buildings inside of it. Okay. I remember enough to know buildings are important, so we will want to keep that in mind. Okay, we got those 2 things on. See, I want to build that way. So I'm waiting for the frost breaking to be done. Tension. Tension is located in the very middle bottom of the screen. It's portrayed as an orb that can be filled with black liquid as the tension rises throughout the city. Tension shows how agitated and anxious the people in the city are. Tension rises as problems like cold, hunger, disease, squalor, or crime are high. Factions may also increase tension. It depends on their fervor. The more they are radicalized, the more tension they cause. Besides, factions might engage in various disruptions such as protests. That's probably a translation issue. Or just an outright typo. Be careful if your tension reaches the maximum limit. City will fall into uncontrollable chaos. Tension level changes dynamically, so keep an eye on it, especially when it rises. Tension reflects the overall situation in the city, so the best way to lower tension is to improve the city, decrease problems like cold or disease, de-radicalize factions, while lowering the overall fervor. You may also research certain ideas that will lower tension, such as search among buildings, policies, or hubs. Well, as long as we're here. Communities or groups of people united by a common outlook and background. You can view all of them by clicking on their image, which we already did. Under each community description is a list of actions you can perform, which we did some of those already. You can also change your relationship with the community for better or worse. Under a community name, you can find information regarding your relations. We know about that already. Trust located at the bottom of the screen. Trust shows how much confidence people have in you as the leader and your decision making. It consists of relations with the communities and factions, which are influenced by your actions toward them and the fulfillment of your promises. Additionally, their opinion of you depends on their direction in which you develop the city, e.g. what research, build, and vote on. When your citizens fall sick or die, it worsens relationships with the community, lowering your overall trust. You can improve your overall trust by increasing your relationship with communities and factions. This can be done using community actions. So we're probably going to have to kind of like pick who we want to side with overall, maybe. But in a lot of ways, we're probably just going to be picking what's practical at the time. This can be done by community actions, corresponding community battle, community, yeah, I know how to do that too. Some citizens ignited by passion and strong belief will organize a group called factions, which are different than communities. Factions are a group of citizens that are united by a common and clearly identified ideology and will actively seek to implement all aspects of the city. Factions originate from communities and share some of their beliefs. However, they have opinions about the city's direction in all three fields, whereas communities focus on one aspect. Ah, that makes more sense. Factions are more radicalized and better organized, which can be advantageous in certain situations. Like if your relations are positive, you can ask them to perform special action. On the other hand, if they disagree with your rule, their opposition can be more fierce. Factions will propose extreme or radical ideas to be implemented in the city. They will also engage in disruptions such as rallies or protests. Be sure to inspect and familiarize yourself with factions that appear in your city. Fervor measures how radicalized and active, how many radicals are active within a faction. These radicals tend to increase tension. High fervor can also lead to violence and even civil war. Fervor increases the faction when a faction opposes your decisions. To decrease your fervor, you need to maintain very good relations with the faction for a long enough time and use the de-radicalized faction action with the community from which the faction originates, or use a special ability in a prison building. To keep control of the city in your hands, you need to understand the desires. Okay. So knowing that, that means Faith Keepers
Stewart!
are a faction.
Stewart!
New Londoners are a community.
Stewart!
And the Frostlanders are a community. So it's really going to be Frostlanders versus the New Londoners. And the Faith Keepers are like the intense members that probably came from that one choice we made in the prologue. Let's continue. I love looking at these people moving. This is so cool. I don't know where all they're going or what they're trying to do. Hey, it's an automaton. People are just running around. Okay, we have those two districts in, but housing is still a problem. Kind of makes me want to expand. That might get us there in the housing. We're losing food pretty heartily too. Maybe while we're working on that, I should be frost breaking to this food. But in the meantime, we can also build so that's going to be a much more efficient food place. We're also losing on goods, but I think for goods we have to build a specific district, so I might wait until the game prompts us on that one. But we almost got the oil. Oh, sounds like somebody wants to talk to me. Oh, that's bad. We got a little bit of red in there. Oh yeah, see, they're a little tense. Okay. So now we are gaining, so we can pop over here. Click on the generator. Turn it on! Good work, steward! We have secured a new coal deposit. It is part of the last vein in New London. There are still some deposits left, but they won't last long. We'll need to improve our mining to use it efficiently. The city's communities are voicing different ideas on how to do it. We need to decide whose ideas are worth pursuing. We must choose a solution! We can construct buildings and districts if there's an empty building slot inside them. Buildings have their demand and output, which are added to the already existing economy of a district. Buildings improve output of a district, i.e. more food, or reduce a problem like squalor or crime. Initially, you don't have many buildings available for construction. However, Research Institute is a building that is available from the very beginning of the game and provides ideas to the idea tree. Cumulative bonus to research speed. Developing new ideas is essential to the invention of new technology and new buildings. Be mindful of who is conducting the research, as ideologies of specific groups will influence the results of their work. And come with a special variant of the building. Some buildings unlock abilities, which can be used when they are constructed. Okay, but I need to build a research institute. Buildings, research institute. Ah, I see. Drop one in. Okay, so we're doing okay. Not great, okay.
The steward appreciates all your adoring letters and will answer personally in due time.
That was fun. I suppose if things are a little red, then we should be maybe DEFCON yellow here. Put in some food, which is good. We need more coal than what we have. Put in the council hall. Oh, I see. It wants me to research a new idea for the coal mines. Can I expand? Yes, I can. Some of this stuff looks like I don't actually have to frost break in order to do. Whoa.
Steward.
Do you hear us?
Steward.
Do you hear us,
Research.
Steward?
Different ideas. Communities of New London. Small crowd gathers outside the new research institute, arguing about how to exploit the last coal veins. The Faith Keepers and the New Londoners want us to lean on machine-powered mining, but the Frostlanders would have us pursue a more frugal solution. They would have us display such discord under the They would have never displayed such discord under the captain's rule. You have to choose who to entrust with their developing ideas. Communities of New London have different perspectives. Show me the idea tree. We need new ideas to move forward. However, different communities may propose diverging answers of the same issue. They will only pursue solutions that align with their worldview. Choosing a community to develop that idea will improve your relationship with that community. So, coal mines. Fighting against the cold is futile. Oh, no, I already know what that means. So we want to click here. No one else shares this idea. Dust coal mines of the Frostlanders. Mining operation where residual coal dust is sucked up and compressed into briquettes to make maximum use of their resources. Increase of workforce, but we have an increased coal output. Disease is slightly increased and it ups the material demand. Operation using explosive drilling to rapidly exploit coal deposits, generating noxious fumes. More coal. 30 more coal even than the Frostlanders' idea. Faith Keepers like this idea of the New Londoners. This is 45% of the city versus 43. Squalors increased. Material demands. So here I have to deal with a slight disease increase and a slight materials increase, but we're going to have 150 coal versus 180. Here squalor is regularly increased, not slightly increased. Materials demands greater, but it requires less people. This requires more people. New Londoners agree with this idea. Blasting coal mine. Is this different than... No, okay. Most of the city wants the blasting coal mine. So, like, for me, at some level, I would rather have a slight increase in disease than just regular increase in squalor. But this is going to be more coal for less people, but it's also going to have a greater materials demand. That said, in this case, usually I'd be like, no, let's go the more frugal route, and I might do that with other resources, but I'm not sure we want to F around with coal. And so it might be a good idea to go with the technology for coal. I mean, we're going to live through an ice age. I think we need the overall output, and the rest of the stuff will kind of work itself out. Even though I feel like I'm going to agree with the Frostlanders more on some of this stuff. But this is what most of the city wants. It's going to get us more coal, which is going to help us the most with heating. I think we have to go. I'll just deal with the squalor and the materials demand.
Steward.
Steward.
A generator wakes. A child is born. People gather around the generator towers. It wakes with a thundering shudder and bestows heat on us yet again. This is the heart of the city. Our last line of defense against the cold. Our first hope for a future. Any future. Steward, there's a couple who says their first child, a daughter, was born at the exact moment the generator sprang to life again. They named her Lily May, and they asked that you bless her. You gave us hope back. Thanks to you, our child may yet have a future ahead. People are hopeful. In the future, there's a future for them after all. May your life be warm and the winds spare your paths. Okay, so we got the generator going again. Turmoil has not quite calmed down yet. We're researching an idea in the coal mines. Food's slightly more under control, but I need to get some other stuff built here. And I don't see a reason why we couldn't. So like, can I go here and do this? I sure can. So you're gonna get those materials built. this is gonna have. Why can't I? Does it need frost breaking? No. Well, how do I get these? Is it a logistics district? No, that doesn't make sense. Is it an industrial? It's not an industrial. Is it an extraction? Okay, I just hit click the wrong button. That makes a little bit more sense. So that'll get us some other stuff here. And that will also help. Oh, I'm out of those. Well, we're about to get some extractors, so hopefully that'll be okay. Get another food district going. We do need more housing yet, too. But I don't have the ability to do anything about that. Okay, so now we're gaining in materials, which is good. That's something. You kind of see where the regular paths are. There's actually not a lot of reason to go over there now. Oh yeah, trains! Look at that! So that's cool. Trains aren't something I really have to build, they're just something that happens. Deadly cold. Due to cold, some of our people have frozen to death. 80 froze to death. Okay, well. That's fun. What a fun thing. Getting a little stressed. Getting a little stressed.
Do not be alarmed by any unusual noises coming from the generator. Routine maintenance work is underway.
Hear us.
That's due to cold. Steward! Cold wave has taken the lives of people in the city. People were found frozen, not only in the open streets, but in some houses and workplaces as well. The air is thick with grief and anger. People fear the horror of years past will return under your leadership. They want a council to ensure new laws that can help fighting in this crisis and reassure them it will be proven. People will continue to freeze to death cold. No, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I don't have. Food is less of a problem. Now we do have, we no longer have a materials issue though. Well, at least some of the deaths mean we have more, you know, the deaths kind of helped our housing problem. So that's something. I mean, that's a bright side. This is how you can see in there more. That's neat. That's real neat. Can I click on the individual people? It's like if I pause the game and find... I was seeing that zoom function, but it's not letting me pick some people. Almost got it researched. Tension is severe, huh? That's not good. Or like here. Construct a newly researched building in an extraction district. Well, I would if I had the heat stamps. So I can't. Maybe what I need to do is deactivate these districts. This might be how I'm burning myself in the opposite direction. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we're not gaining any heat stamps because I built all of this stuff beyond how I should have done it. And so I'm not able to go up. That's basically what I did. So when I was like, I wonder if I'm going to hurt myself by moving ahead, I did. Now we're gaining heat stamps, so now I'll actually be able to afford these things it wants me to do. Let's go back and turn one of these on. Still be gaining heat stamps. With a new mine, the impending doom of depleted coal is postponed. Yet, differences between the communities remain. The weakening captain wanted to establish a council to settle them. He didn't live to see it. It falls to you, Steward. The people of New London want to say in how it's run. The first decision, whether you should continue to lead the city. We need a council. I wonder if you could do a playthrough where you just never actually do that. That would be really funny. Oh wow, now I can definitely turn these places on. Oh, requires more workforce. Okay, well that's fine.
Help us!
Deacon Grace, 51, priestess, praying to the generator. Such a relief to have you back on. O holy generator, provider and sustainer, our light, our heart, our shining beacon, hear our prayer. I don't think the generator can hear you. Make us instruments in your light, that we might fill the hearts of our flock with your radiance and forever fight against the cold frost. May you forever warm our path. I get it, the generator is revered and beloved by faith keepers. I'm just telling you, I helped build it. It does not have ears. We're getting there with the heat stamps. There we go. We got it now. Look at that automaton. He gonna go through the little automaton tunnel. That's gonna be exciting. There's a smaller automaton. One more heat stamp required. We'll get there. Boing. We do not have enough of like anything, except for maybe heat. Alright, get that city hall going. Council gathers for the first time. We can vote on new laws. The first council session, the city decides. Anticipation fills the air as the council opens. The captain ruled with a firm hand for years, but those times died with him. Now the communities of the city want their say. The Faith Keepers are the only organized faction and have a strong opinion on everything. They are devoted to what they claim was the late captain's vision. A godly society built on progress, equality, and tradition. The New Londoners and Frostlanders clash over our survival strategy, though neither has a firm stance on economic or social issues. Then there are those who view the Faith Keepers with contempt for their role in New London's history, but they keep in the shadows for now. Based on your handling of the coal crisis, the first decision is whether you should maintain your role as steward. Open the session. I think I should. When you return to the council in the future, you will be able to propose new laws to vote upon. But for now, a special vote needs to happen. The communities of New London have to accept you as your leader. Be careful. If you fail, this will be the end of your rule. I see. Now, what we didn't do last time is I think you can actually click on, like, individual people. Yeah. Barnabas Rothschild. I missed this in the beta, that this was a thing you could do. Help develop a series of whistles to communicate in Frost. Loves looking out towards the Frostlands before bed. Doesn't trust engineers. One of the first people in the city to donate blood. Can't stand last-minute plans. Open to more efficient methodology. Pearl Stapleton was the last person to see her childhood friend alive. Wishes people gave her more time to get used to new ideas. Trusts people with flaws. Worked 3 days straight to fix a generator breakdown. Collects fingers she finds while repairing machinery. Trust the experts. Okay, Maud. It's a neat thing that you do. Rose Oakley followed her first love to the edges of Frostland. Tricked the New Londoner delegate into voting her way. Hates feeling of stagnation. Maggie Bouchard saw grass once and cried. In context, that should not be funny, but it's such a strange sentence. Saw grass once and cried. Thinks things were easier when the captain was alive. So do I. Loves the smell of Frostland and after a fresh snow. That's so funny. Thea Jacobs, sole survivor of an avalanche. Trying to get the band together. Loves the smell of Frostland after a fresh snow. Anyway. New Londoners. Oh, I see. So I can do this and I pick one of the things that they like. You know what? F it. We're just gonna outright vote. I'm probably not gonna stream for super long anyway, so because I'm getting close to having to get ready for bed and stuff. So I'm kind of like, you know what? Let's just vote. No negotiating. Just see how they feel about me, and if we lose, then we start over next time we play. Hey, we made it.
Have spoken. The law takes effect.
As steward, you shall remain then. Good. There are challenges ahead. Expanding coal extraction is a great success, but the vein will only last so long. We need to explode the forest land for a more permanent source of fuel. Otherwise, the city will have no future at all. We must find more fuel.
Into force.
Access to the Frostland. You will need to reach beyond your city not only to survive, but to thrive. Logistics districts give you access to the Frostland. Keep in mind that they can only be constructed in a place of an old way station at the edge of the city or colony area. By exploring and exploiting the world outside the city, capital city, you can provide people with nearly everything they need. You can switch between the Frostland view and the city view with the button in the top right corner. I don't have a button in the top right hand corner. Oh, probably because I don't have a logistics yet. That would make sense. Okay, so build a logistics district on an old way station. Find a permanent source of fuel outside the city. That's our next step. I really don't like that we don't have things, though. This is an old way station. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's one that's closer. No, there's not. There's other ones, but there's none that are closer. But we might be able to get there. If not in this frost breaking, we'll need to do one more. So we'll be okay. I guess while we're waiting, let's go to the idea tree here. Not enough heat stamps. Okay. Well, we can't do anything because of that. We need more heat stamps. Fine. So we'll be in session again. There's some people just sitting in here right now. Fox Charlton. Mercy killed his childhood pet when it got sick. He's trying to get a band together. I know somebody else who is. Has doubts regarding the new London delegate's ability to read, specifically regarding documentation. Raymond Marshall. Saved his stranded expedition by signaling with a broken mirror. Makes origami cranes when anxious. Loves jokes about New Londoners kissing the generator. Ophelia Knott. Used to wait outside Hoth houses to collect food scraps. Constantly bragging about how long she can survive in the Frostland. Loves the smell of Frostland after fresh snow. That's so funny. Actually, just fill in the area around there better.
Brace yourselves. Cold is coming.
We're still doing okay heat-wise. I think I just used all my heat stamps on frost breaking, which is okay because I needed to do that anyway. I can build another housing district. Excellent. Helpful window, you're blocking my ability to click on things. District employment can be manually controlled by any district panel. Oh, okay. By selecting percentage value, you can scale all operations in district. Adjustment will reduce the required workforce and resource requirement, but also lower output. Full employment cannot be selected in a district. That means there's not available workforce. To address this, you either need to reduce employment in other districts or increase the workforce. These workforce... Okay. So, like here... Can I open it this far? Okay, I can at least open it that far. Cool, I like that. Because then... we're working towards food a little bit better. But right now I don't have the workforce or the materials to build that. So if that's the case, then I actually do need to not have all of these things open. Okay, what else are these things doing? You're extracting wood. So you're working on materials, which I do need. You're doing prefabs, which I need less of. I have a fair amount of prefabs. So we're actually going to deactivate this district for the time being, because I am not in need, and that's going to give me a surplus in other things, so that I can get some other work done.
Give the right of way to frost-breaking teams in transit.
We can work on a logistics district at a railway station. We will have less of a cold problem because we will have no more shelter issues for the time being, which is great news. Not enough heat stamps for anything. Okay, fine. Probably because I just built that other stuff. New law available. Let's look at some laws. Survival. There are no... So we can do food additives. We can do goods. We can do... Contagion prevention. We have no agreed upon way to handle contagion. No, voluntary and unfocused communal effort does not yield any significant gain for the city. Okay. What does it want me to do here? It has a little thing here. The steward may deploy squads of well-trained, well-equipped guards, put down disruptions, and otherwise keep the peace. Unlocks quell protesters' district ability, which in protest using guard squads. Unlocks mobilized watchtower squads. Guided voting. The steward may declare a motion vitally important to the city's survival, curtailing debate and convincing many wayward delegates to support it. I like that. People are divided. No one is for, 60 are hesitant, 40 are against. Why are you guys hesitant? Aerodome in which harvesters are dispatched to the Frostland Nurture over less, but I don't mind doing that. See, I feel like I need to... I wish here, where it says, oh, you'll do this, I wish I could look at what the option, like the other option is. So, like, instead of having to do this and go out, I can then just view it there. Gonna help your mom make dinner before the crew gets home. Probably won't be back. Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up here soon, too. But I'm glad you were here. I'm excited to see how this goes. See, and now I'm here and I can't tell what you all want. So, like, that's one kind of quality of life thing I wish they could find a way to add. Although I am good with this. Okay, so law, expedition support. I want to look at expedition support and building gleaning harvester hangar. Okay, so if we build this. Aerodome from which they like this aerodome. The other option is this harvester hangar versus gleaning harvester hangar. What's the difference? Why would I not do this one? There's like no difference. There's got to be something I'm missing here. I don't know that that will even go through, though. I don't even see the other thing I'm supposed to vote on. Well, I don't think I have to guarantee it'll go through. I think I just have to say that I'll put it up. Negotiate with the Frostlanders and say that I will vote for the gleaning harvesting hammer. Okay. Sweet, that moved a bunch of people who were against it. So let's go ahead and vote. Come on, baby. 43. Oh, law rejected.
The delegates have spoken. The law is tabled.
Power remains unchanged. But we have to research that thing still. Even though it didn't freaking pass. Jerks. Y'all are stressing me out. I know it's idle. I can't do anything because I ain't got money. I want to research this gleaning harvest hangar before we go so I don't completely forget. But then we'll probably wrap up here because it's 6 o'clock. And I'm super hungry and I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm not anticipating streaming. I have, I'll be gone like pretty much the whole day. Can now survey the frozen lands around New London, find a source of fuel to ensure its future. I'm hoping to stream Friday, but I have Friday off from work and it will probably be in the morning. Like it'll be an unusual time on a Friday, but I'll probably be playing this. I know we still have Outlaws to do, and I'm not done with Outlaws. We'll probably bounce back and forth. But I'm going to be pretty much jonesing to play this, especially if I'm not going to play it tomorrow. Overpopulation and dwindling fuel reserves most many residents of New London to take refuge in these temporary shelters built around a small hot spring. Okay, come back later. Frozen Bay. Ooh. This is intense. We're gonna do safe and potentially get these things.
Logistic District is now operational. First expeditions in search for fuel will be launching shortly.
I don't think I have heat. Oh, I do have heat stamps. Okay. So we're gonna research this idea. Since I promised them I would and I didn't want to forget. So yeah, you probably won't see me tomorrow. You'll see me Friday, but like earlier in the morning. Than usual, because I have the day off. And I have family stuff to do in the afternoon. So we'll have that going on. But I think I'm actually gonna call it here. I'm kind of tired. I feel like I'm just not gonna be able to focus. So I'm gonna go work on eating. But this was really fun. I'm really excited to get to play around and do more with this. We'll do much longer one than just a measly 2 hours and 20 minutes. But I'm really glad we got to do this. I'm excited to keep playing this. But I hope you guys have a good day, and